Thank you all for being here. We're going to bring some of the actors out, so I'm not going to give you a big spiel on the show because we're all fans of season 6. The finale is Tuesday night on OWN, so I've seen it. It's really good. I'm not going to tell you anything. But let's start bringing people out, and then we'll have a good conversation about Queen Sugar. First up, he plays Prosper Denton. Please welcome Henry G. Sanders. And she plays Billy Denton, Tammy Townsend. And we all need a little Aunt Vi in our lives. Tina Lifford. And she plays Darla Sutton Bordelon, Bianca Lawson. And last but not least, Ralph Angel Bordelon, Kofi Siriboe. Welcome, everybody.
Hi.
So I feel like 607, the one we just watched, was kind of the perfect episode because it gives all the joy, the drama, the intense family relationships. It kind of had all of that in it, which is pretty much every episode, but this one did it really, really well.
Pretty much Queen Sugar.
Yeah, yeah. Kofi, I'm going to start with you. You know, I've been talking to you since season 1 of the show. How was this season different for you? Just with seeing what Ralph Angel was going through, because there was some full circle stuff happening there.
It's a good question. First of all, thank you guys for being here. Thank you. In the mid of all this craziness.
Yeah.
How was it different? It was post quarantine. It was kind of like we were in this bubble, and then we got a chance to get back outside. There was new things going on with Miss Darla. You know, we got a baby on the way. She's pregnant. I don't know, man. It didn't really feel different to me, you know. It didn't feel different to me.
And what about Ralph Angel's journey? Just the fact that he was kind of forced into a corner where he ended up doing some things he wasn't.
If anything,
real happy
he's
about
back
doing.
to the basics. He's back to where he started. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have the answer. You have to come back to me.
All right,
You
it's
have
all
to come
good.
back to me. It's too personal.
Bianca, I'm going to come to you next because you know we've seen Darla go through a lot, and this at least the relationship was solid. At least the start of the season. Then this episode really, a lot comes to the head. Can you just talk about that journey as far as these characters, Ralph Angel and Darla?
Oh my goodness, they've been through a lot.
That part.
But I love where they're at now. You know, it's like I think all of the trials and tribulations and ups and downs that they went through, I think it actually ultimately made them stronger and made them better. And Darla's she's in a good place now. And I think that Ralph Angel and Darla, they're soulmates, you know? And so they have Blue, and then they have the new one. So it's just like it's a really beautiful journey because I think sometimes people feel like maybe if they've gone through some really dark things or they have shame or guilt or, you know, about the things that have happened to them, it can get better, right? Like your life can become even better than it was before the dark times. You can really thrive. You can be surrounded by love. And you can be ultimately a greater version of yourself than maybe before all of those hardships. And so I love the hope of that, you know? And the idea of that kind of resiliency and joy, and that something so beautiful and happy can come out of, you know, things that you think you may not be able to overcome.
There's a lot of big scenes in this episode because everybody now knows what Ralph Angel has been doing, and they kind of really letting him have it.
That's why I don't have anything to say. I'm like, I'll just be quiet. No, but honestly, I think with Ralph Angel, this entire journey, we've kind of seen him trying to prove points to himself, to people, just trying to get that respect, and that pride leads him to making decisions that he has to deal with. And I just feel like, poor Ralph Angel. But you know, having this baby was a new start. You know, everything that went down with Blue and Blue going off to school and us trying to start this family. And I just think I want to know what happened season 7. I can't lie before I could really say much. But anyway.
I think we all do. Well, Tina, one of those great scenes is between Aunt Vi and Ralph Angel, and it's partly in the group scene, but she really lets him have it, but then also makes sure he knows, you know, she still loves him.
Yeah.
and we talked about that the other day when we had an interview. But can you talk about that a little bit as far as Aunt Vi's approach to all our family members, but in this case, Ralph Angel?
Yeah, well, I think that that Aunt Vi represents that energetic that we all know, like I think we all know an Aunt Vi type. And that's that person who loves unconditionally and will make you accountable. She's going to tell the truth. She's going to hold you to the truth. And if, in fact, you aren't able to hear it or own up to it, she wants to make sure that she has said it, that the seed has been planted. And when it comes to Ralph Angel, if there were no Blue, then all that love that Vi has in her heart would have gone solely to Ralph Angel, because that's what we do. We give it all to the men. In our culture, the men get all of the love, and then the girls, when it comes to a woman, the girls, are held accountable and told to do what they need to do. But the men get passes after passes after passes. And Blue. Well,
What you gotta say, Mr. Sanders?
That's not a negative. That's not a negative at all. It's just the fierce way a lot of women I know love. They make their daughters accountable in a way that they don't necessarily extend to the boys. That's been my experience. And so Vi is first and foremost love, and she loves Ralph Angel and loves him even more because of the human being that he birthed, and the birth of Blue. Also, Vi gets to witness the rebirth of Ralph Angel. And in him, she sees all of this potential. She sees her brother. She sees everything that is valuable to her. And so she shows up fierce.
Well, talk about a day like that on set when it is a big group scene. It's the whole family. It's very intense. And I know you guys probably shot this earlier this year, maybe, when you were shooting this. But do you remember that day? Like, what is it like? I don't know how much rehearsal time you guys get, but it's a beautiful scene to watch because it is all family, but it's also very intense stuff, kind of hitting Ralph Angel with the truth of what's going on.
So the truth is that when we have the opportunity to all be in a scene together, I'm going to speak for myself. That's the good news and the bad news. The good news is that we really enjoy one another. So seeing each other is fun. The bad news is we know that we're going to be there all frickin' day, because there's a lot of coverage that is necessary, and we know that the team on the ground, the ADs, are going to be annoyed with us because every single
She's
time.
the one. She's the culprit, just to let y'all know.
So, yeah, well, we talk in between takes. And, they would like it if we maybe didn't. I don't know. What is your experience?
Bianca or Kofi, what's your experience in those big scenes?
They're really serious scenes, like we're shooting a drama show. So like, so Miss Lifford over here, she makes it fun. She keeps it light. It's like she said, we have a good time, and sometimes we know how to turn it on and off. I know personally, I feel like I always get the respect of my castmates. Sometimes I won't look at them or stare off in the corner, or, just get in my zone. And I'll hear her making her jokes, but she try not to direct them towards me. And it's just love. I think we all know what we need. And like energetically, it's like, okay, shh, but it's a fiasco. It's a fiasco.
All right, we guys deliver though. So even if we don't see that, the audience sees these amazing scenes. Tammy and Henry, this whole season's been really a joy to watch these characters One, because we've seen Prosper since the early days of the show, but this year really fleshed him out. And it was kind of like, wow, I wanted that earlier, and we got it this season. We really got to know your character. I'll ask you first, Henry, just how was that for you to really have to play more of who this character is than we'd ever seen before?
Excuse me. I was in my moment. No, it was great for the backstory, and I think we were talking about it here in the room over there about with Tammy coming on and finding out a little bit more about Prosper. And what was nice for me is that because I have a daughter. And anybody that has a daughter that you have a little tension between from time to time, understand where I'm coming from. She has her own mind, and so to to say it lightly, and then to have Tammy come in and to kind of feel that for me made it really personal. The things that happened to her in the show, and we start to find out about it, and Prosper's response to it, the guilt. I, as a father, has had guilt for some of the things that I've done that I've since apologized for, as in the show, because it kind of some of the same circumstances that he didn't understand at the time. And with him going through that and finding an opportunity to kind of rebuild that relationship, which is kind of an ongoing thing. And when two things happened when Tammy came on to the show. One, and Vi, Tina, had competition. That she wasn't intimidated by Miss Tina, as we all tend to get from time to time, because we never know when she's serious. And just to have to be able to work those feelings, those personal feelings, and to work with Miss Tammy here. It's a great experience. It's wonderful, and we've talked about the thing of what the show allows us to do is to take time and not rush. So it gives us an opportunity to feel those moments, and I'm appreciative of that. I respect everybody in the cast, but the Miss Lady here has really brought joy to my heart. And so I appreciate it. No.
Well, Tina did intimidate me. So just so you know.
Tina was not trying.
She wasn't, but after I talked to you and she cracked a couple jokes, like she does a deadpan thing, and it's like she'll say something and you thinking, is she serious? And then she go, oh, I'm just kidding. You know what I mean? And then after that, you kind of broke it, and I felt good. I was nervous my first day. Yeah, I was, because it was.
Came in blazing.
Thank you.
She really
I was
did.
so, because I mean they've been doing this for like 5 seasons, and here I come in there like, who is this chick? You know what I'm saying? So, but they were really loving to me, and I really appreciate that, you guys. I really do. You made me feel right at home.
I really would like to say, Jim, that it's been my experience with our ensemble that there is mad respect for the frickin' work. Every single actor on our show comes for the work. And when you came to the set and you came blazing, meaning this was a person who clearly loves the work and does the work, the thing that I really wanted is to make sure that typical kind of, political set dynamics wasn't present, because that's not who I am, right? And that's not who I have experienced any of our actors to be. And quite honestly, after working with these folks, I'm envisioning in my next job making sure that I'm asking for a kick-ass ensemble, because working with people who are respectful is a really, really respectful artists is really exciting.
Well, Tammy, let me ask you. Yeah. Well said. Tammy, when you did come in, just as an actor approaching a character who had such a deep, painful backstory, and having to play these scenes with Henry right off the bat, where at first a lot of stuff was under the surface, and then by the time we get to this episode, it's coming out. But can you just talk about your approach to that as an actor, and how you make sure that that is very present for your character, even though you've just stepped into her shoes?
Well, I mean, it was easy because the writing is just so good.
Yeah.
So it was basically on the paper. But then basically what I would do is I have friends who have been sexually assaulted, people in my family, and I spoke to them and how they felt, and some of them weren't believed by members of our family, like mothers or fathers, for whatever reason, and just the pain involved in that. And so just having those type of conversations with them really gave me an insight. But even if I hadn't, I'm glad I did, but it's there. The writing is so good, and it's when you know something is special and you're gonna get a chance to like stretch as an actor, it's really exciting. So that's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Kofi, also in this episode, there's a really great scene between you and Omar, who plays Hollywood, where he really lays into him, like everybody in the episode. But as an actor, talk about approaching that kind of scene. I don't know if you and Omar had time to really work on that, or if you just jump in. Can you just talk about that?
The cool part about working with somebody like Omar, especially this long, that day we kind of just see each other. We might have other work we're doing at other scenes or whatever before we do that scene, but we just kind of go and like, we gonna do it? Like, we good? Like, he's like, I'm gonna go, you good? Like, I'm gonna yell in your face and I might spit on you. Like, you good? I'm like, yeah, let's go. But I mean, that's my OG. I look up to Omar so much. So man, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to have those opportunities, and that was a difficult scene for me. Just feeling like I effed everything up, everything we've been working towards, everything I've been working towards, and having to tap into, I guess, that regret and that pain, but also not fully comprehending how it's my fault. My choices is my fault. So that's a tough pill to swallow, and it just hurt. It hurt, but it was beautiful. Again, the cast, as mean as they were, I felt the love, and it was more so what I had to deal with myself. But it was beautiful. It's beautiful.
Okay. Bianca, let me ask you, one of the big stories this season was Blue, and Blue going away to school, and then when he comes back, can you talk about how challenging that was for Darla to make that decision? Or maybe it wasn't as much of a challenge because it was for the good of him, but can you talk about those scenes earlier in the season that were really powerful, just to see a mother taking care of her son? Right.
I mean, I think that's what Liv is, though, right? Like, I think she would probably love to have Blue at home, but he has more opportunities if he goes away. And making that kind of hard decision, right? What's like his future will be better. And I think it's tough and it's difficult, but it's also probably exciting to find out that your child is like a genius, And I always love working with Ethan, and he's such a joy, and all of the family scenes. And so, but I want to say something about that scene with Kofi and Omar, and I could almost cry now. Kofi had to do that so many times from so many different angles, and I literally was like crying in the corner. And I mean, it's like I think people don't maybe understand how hard that is, like emotionally, energetically. And we did that all day. So, and everybody was just like holding the space.
Yeah. And Tina was making jokes.
I mean, it was really, like amazing. But yeah, I think, all of those early scenes and all of the COVID stuff, but the stuff with Blue making those decisions, I think she was happy about it. I think Ralph Angel wasn't really with it, but But yeah, it was for the good of Blue. So I think that's always kind of like the choice that mothers have to make, you know.
It's difficult because I feel like Blue represents who we want to be, you know, or who we could have been. You know, maybe if we had more exposure, had more opportunities, you know, made different choices. So it's like, do we give him what we know or give him an opportunity to do something we don't know, which might
Right.
be a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, since we're talking about a lot of the heavy scenes in the show, and since we have actors here in the audience, I want to know how do you kind of shake all that off from a heavy scene at the end of the day? If you can, maybe you can't, but I know it's a skill to be able to or not.
Nah, but for real, it's a real conversation, and margarita for real. But I feel like that's something I personally want to discover more. Like actually how to disassociate from the work we do. I think it kind of just becomes so real. You know, it's like I spend so much time in that, and that's like we said, in those. I might be at home sad about something or mad about something. I think it's me, but it's my character. It's something trailing from a week ago, or you know, I'm just sad on a Sunday for no reason. You know, but you know, it's mad. But it's a conversation, and it's not something that I was, I guess, privy to coming into it. You're just like, oh, I'm about to do this show, and my life's gonna change. And then you're like, God damn, like, I can't shake this man. Like, it just follows you. So, to be honest, just really being able to realize that and realize there's a process and there's actual work that has to be done to keep yourself and to really, like, you know, I guess, keep that at work. Sometimes still discovering. Sometimes still discovering.
Yeah. Bianca, how do you approach that?
It sneaks up on you, right? Like you think that, okay, I did the scene, it's done, I'm over, you go home, but it lingers, it stays with you, it stays in your body, and I don't know. I mean, I used to feel like I was the kind of person that kind of like stop and start, like it's the other character, it's not me, but there's something about Darla specifically, and it also could be maybe the length of time I've been embodying her, but it really, you start to merge and you start to wonder, is this me? Is this how I'm feeling? Or is this because Darla is still like lingering inside of me? I went roller skating on Friday, and you just try to do those things. But I think, like Kofi said, you just maybe accept it, and hopefully the people in your life understand that, and give that grace. And it's a very hard thing, I think, for people that aren't actors to like fully understand what that's like. But yeah, so I'm still experimenting myself.
Okay.
I feel like it's like being in an argument, in real life, and it's done. But 4 or 5 hours later, you still feel it, it's still ringing. You might see the person and flare, like, it's just that energy doesn't go anywhere. So, yeah, how do you transmute that? Like, how do you, I don't know, talk. If that question is for this person here.
She's next, Tina.
Genius.
Yeah.
Please tell us.
Tina, what's your approach for that?
Please tell us.
Yeah, no, seriously. I always have to say that.
Facts.
Seriously. Otherwise, they think I'm kidding or joking. I don't know why. Because I'm always joking. But I'd like to say this. Because we are instruments, and no instrument is the same, I think it's important for us all to leave room to discover the instrument that we are. And each one of us has an orientation to life and ourselves and the instrument that is going to support us in the ultimate aim, which is to deliver truth. So with that said, I will tell you that I don't see myself as Aunt Vi. When I watch Queen Sugar, I don't see myself. And when I am on set working, it is a really fascinating experience because I she makes choices. She makes choices that Tina Lifford, the actress, thought was going to go in another direction. But then Aunt Vi will step in and she will make choices. And because there is a bit of a buffer, I don't carry her. But I can't tell you that in another character, you know, yeah, there might be another character that triggers something that is maybe an issue or a core challenge for me, and therefore I will carry it because both me and the character will be processing it. Both me and the character will be working it out. Absolutely. So I leave room for, you know, the notes that we are.
It's beautiful.
That's great. Yeah. Tammy, Henry, anything you want to add to that?
I have a very short answer. I don't carry any of that stuff after I'm done and they say cut. I really can let it go because I am a naturally silly person, like really silly. And so when I'm done, it's more of a burden for me to be able to portray it the way that I want to portray it and have all that stuff. And remember, that is such a big burden to me because I want to do it. I want to be perfect. When that's not correct. You really got to like allow things to move and how they will organically. So when they say cut and I've done it, I don't go back and be like, dang, I should have made this choice or that. You did it. You prepare for it, and you just got to trust your instrument. And goodbye. So, really, you know.
I wish mine was that easy. I carry it through the whole season. I've learned to live with that over the years. That it's just a part of me, and as most people up here can attest to, that I'm quiet. I go home. I don't socialize. I just kind of say, here's Prosper, and he's in everything I do until July.
I guess that's the other thing is like going into this season one, you don't know how long you're doing it for. So even when we're done filming in June or July, I don't just get rid of somebody who's got to come back in March, you know, and then next year, and then next year. We're going on 7 years.
Yeah.
Hey.
7 years, that's a long time.
Yeah, that's amazing.
7 years with amazing storytelling, and each season has just gotten better. That's a blessing.
And a bunch of drama.
Well, for more drama, you guys will want to watch the season finale on Tuesday night. Thank you to these wonderful actors. Thanks to you all for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a great Sunday. Thank you.